Woo-ha, and we're live. In theory. Cool. One thing I want to check out. Now, why is it not letting me sign into this thing? So, I don't know if I'll be able to see any sort of chat stuff, because apparently it's still being weird about that. But here we are, ready to go. And I guess we'll just get to it then. That is still bothering me, but not like I really think anybody's watching this in chat anyway. So I will try and look into that a bit later. And hey, I think we are golden. So where did we leave off? We left off. We're getting ready to craft a sword and then head to the forest. So checking back in, I'm Day Corto, and we are continuing the misadventures of Xena, our wandering pedestrian at the moment. And at the end of the last stream, we got the stuff we needed to create the sword I wanted to use for a while. Then we're going to head into the forest. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal, but first we got to get crafty, and then we'll probably just... Oh, I think it just woke this character up, actually. So, looking at us, let's get crafty. So I looked up, I was a bit off on what I needed to do to craft this sword. I needed crystal powder, I needed one of these things, and I needed firefly powder, which I bought from the alchemist. I went and did a bit of extra stuff off stream earlier just to check some settings and whatnot, and I picked it up. So, to craft, we do an iron sword, crystal powder, the gold lick mechanism, and firefly powder. That should get us... What am I doing wrong? Is it two of these? Well, we're just gonna have to go without the sword then. I was positive that was the one. Weird. So I looked it up poorly, I guess. Oh well, alright, whatever, too late we started. We'll figure it out again. Well, other than that, it's time to head to the forest. And to do that, I'm just going to store some of this. Actually, I'm bringing that with me. Nah, I'll just leave it there. So, I'm going to store some stuff. We'll pick up some water on the way. The one thing we need before changing into or going to different regions is these little things right here, travel rations. Basically, before you travel between regions, each one will tell you you need X amount. Usually it's 3, sometimes 4, maybe 5. Anyway, you'll need those, and if you don't have them, pretty sure you can't go. I don't think you can just kill yourself, but more or less that's what you have to have before you can change regions. Don't need the Bandicam key. I've got the money with us. A handful of things I might want to sell. Oh yeah, the rest of the money. That seems more like it. And sure. Oh, we'll bring a cooking pot. I'm gonna have to buy a tent, and I can do that when we get there. Let's grab the rest of those. Burnt mana, cures common cold. Why not take some tea with us? We're gonna have to buy an alchemy kit when we get there too, because we're basically gonna end up living on the streets of Berg. That's the city in the forest for a while. And so we're gonna need a tent, alchemy kit, cooking pot, and then we're just gonna set up camp there. So let's take the long walk out to the forest. I don't have any of those, that's fine. Do I have... can we get for that anyway? Alrighty, so moving right along, I have gotten some feedback from some very credible people. In fact, one of my favorite people. And he mentioned to me, well, I guess he asked me, what sort of stream is this? You know, like, what's your exact idea? And I guess what I'm calling this, like, it's definitely not like a let's play. It's a casual playthrough. I'm not doing any form of challenge run. I really just got it in my head that I wanted to use a chakram build. And the only character I can remember off the top of my head, or I think about even, is Xena the Warrior Princess. She uses a chakram. The other guy that came to mind was the 80s sci-fi movie Kroll. I'm pretty sure it's called Kroll. That guy famously has like a 5-point spinning disc blade thing. Not even really a chakram, but that's the only other character I could think of. And I don't know that movie very well. I think I saw it once when I was a kid. We got water, we got that, we got some tartines. Alright, I'm content to go. So yeah, I mostly wanted to just do a very casual stream of this because I'm really, really love this game. More to show off just what it's about, kind of how to play it, but I'm not really trying to be a direct how-to. Show the different mechanics and things you can do, and just how, and then when I come across things, sure, I want to explain how to do them. Mostly I just love wandering around this world, and I feel like this game is on the underrated side or less played side of a lot of games that have come out, more or less because I don't think I ever heard anyone even speaking about it until I was actively searching for games relatively like this, and it kept popping up. And then I just almost instantly fell in love with it. So I like to give underrated games their fair share, and or at least their fair shot. Or even just lesser played games. What do we have here? Oh, it's that dude. So over yonder, we have a bandit who hangs out with an armored hyena. And he uses a warhammer, and he's usually very obnoxious with it. So I know we can set a trap. I'm out of my magic little fireball nonsense. So this still shouldn't be that big of a deal. This sword is a beast. Okay. Come on, dude. I like your hair. It's very blue. Oh. Get staggered and die. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Woo-ha. How much weight did I... I got a few pounds to spare. Really need any of that? And you just probably have iron, which I'll take. Actually, I will take your linen, because I can probably craft a few tripwire traps if I just get some wood. So obviously I'm going to need to get wood. Why would I say that? Nothing necessary. Yeah. So let's move on to the forest, Enmerker Forest. On our way there, we're going to try and stop by a cave of I was going to say gentleman. He's actually a scourge beast, but he's a friendly one. He's the friendly immaculate, as his type are called. Because you can run into him in each of the main regions in the game. He is one of the defeat scenario, which is always good. And then you can ask him for help, and then he will offer you a few different options. One of which is a spell. Do I have my mining pick on me? No, I do not. And the bag's overweight. I got a few pounds. One of which is a spell that boosts your defense, your corruption resistance. And what I think we might end up doing when we get to the forest and get our tent and camp all set up there is go do a very lucrative cash run in the temple that's full of corruption. So having all of the defense against that we can get is extremely helpful. The temple in question is not... It's not that bad, it's not that hard, but you get very corrupted doing it. So getting your corruption defense up and getting some cures will make it very worthwhile. And then we have to do a bit of crafting. Might as well get some more iron. I turned off motion blur, and I usually play games with motion blur on. It doesn't really bother me, but I felt like maybe we did give that a try for this go around. There he is. So this is a actual enemy type you end up facing a lot later game. But this guy's friendly, just chilling there reading his book. The sea breeze in Chernice always fills me with the urge to travel. It's a pity that the winter is so unbearably cold. Tell me about it. You're a monster from the Scourge. No, I'm just going to be like, who are you? I sense there's more to that question. What's your name? Names are a human thing. My kind can tell one another apart without such arbitrary nonsense. We only call ourselves Immaculates because that's what your kind calls us. Gotcha. You seem to enjoy reading, and Scon is quite valuable. And the way your kind makes fake history stories for the purpose of amusement, it's a comfort to me on a lonely road I walk. Gotcha. Can you help me? I don't possess much, but I can offer you a piece of my survival gear. What need drives you? I need power. I can teach you human. I know I can teach you a way to become resistant to decay, magic, and poisons, and make your own far more powerful. I call it the possession boon. Teach it to me, please. Sit and close your eyes. I will help you unlock the power to manipulate the corruption that lurks within you. You got it. And we learned that. I hope this help keeps you safe and alive. I will make do without. Thanks for the chat. I'll be off. Now we can run over here and check his chest. He doesn't get mad or anything like that. Big club, elemental resistant potions I'll take, but that's it. I'm gonna leave the brutal club. I'm a mean person. Wow, why am I so overweight? And I'm carrying quite a bit. I have a small backpack. I guess that has a lot to do with it. That's okay. I don't need either of these things. I can still manage decent speed for now. And we will, well, if we're lucky, we'll run into a caravaner. And if we're not lucky, it won't take us that long, because that was louder than I wanted it to be. Get to Berg. So how was everybody's Easter? Mine was lovely enough. Went over to my parents' house for a while. Ate ham. And marshmallow peeps, I guess. It was a nice Easter. I'm not a crazy Easter person. It's not a big holiday I care too much about. But it was a fun day regardless. So that looks like there's a bird in front of us. We got to get across this lake and way over there. Actually, it's right next to where we were in the last stream at the Voltaic Hatchery. Let's drink some water. Ba-bam. And then we'll continue on, and hopefully that bird leaves us alone. Actually, I'm not really concerned too much about the bird. There's probably a shrimp somewhere around here. That was weird. Really? I can hear you. Alright, let's just do it. Back off. Yeah, I know the bag's overweight. We're gonna deal. Yeah, once again by the pylon, and there's usually a mantis shrimp somewhere around here. But I guess maybe he wandered off. Oh, nope, there he is. Aha. You see him, and he's getting right proper in the way. I don't really feel like dealing with a mantis shrimp. Oftentimes he ends up fighting a couple hyenas. I mean, it's not a problem to avoid or outrun. They really are kind of a terrifying enemy, though. I mean, just imagining actual mantis shrimps running around the world that large. That makes sense. I don't often play in heavy armor, and I'm wondering, like, why is my stamina regenerating so slowly? Because we put on this heavy plate last episode. That's okay, this won't take too long. Well, I hope everyone had a good day. There's our pirate ship. I really need to figure out how to craft that sword. I am perplexed. I probably need a steel sword, not an iron sword, and that's what's killing me. I thought it was a lot simpler. Wow. Yeah, this is bothering me enough that I'm gonna just start dropping stuff. Here, eat that, and then I'm gonna drop it. Drop a ton of stuff that doesn't matter. 3 pounds. Can we move 3 pounds? I could have left that at home. Alright, screw it. That's going away. Alright, see. Much better. I guess anyone who's ever been hiking with an overloaded backpack understands. I spent a long time living out of a backpack that was huge and extremely heavy. And while it was fun, but it was fun because I wasn't out in the woods doing anything. I was just hosteling around Australia. So, definitely, it's basically the same thing. 100%. I even carried a sword around. Anyway, so this is the entrance to Enmerkar. That is the ship we were at the other stream. You can kind of see the bandit camp that we took out where the Wendigo was the other night. And then, of course, the mountain that we got our magic from. And here is our way into the forest. So we're just going to walk up and basically push Y. But every time in-game, let's actually look at this just for kicks. It's day 12. I think 3 days pass when you travel between locations. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard, I guess. I've never really looked at it. Which is just something to keep in mind for when we end up doing timed quests, if we have to go between locations. Because all right, now it's day 14, so 2 days passed. When we end up doing timed quests, you can easily lose a lot of time if you're traveling between locations a whole lot. So we're going to nom on a cracker, or on some jam and toast. And we'll just deal with the burn stamina. Once we get to town, so the town's not too far away. That is a ghost in front of us. Oftentimes there's a Saborian caravaner right around here. Not this time, so ghosts. I don't have any varnish to deal with him, so I'm going to try to avoid him. Simply because while I can kill him with this sword, they don't take a lot of physical damage. Obviously, they're ghosts. So I don't want to mess with him at the moment. There's a little secret dungeon elsewhere in the forest that has a locked gate in it that I've done this before. Come on, we can do it now. Run up here. Oh, there we go. Nope, never mind, screw it. Usually you can get up over that hill right there. There's a lock gate in this other dungeon that there's a switch in that little tower that you have to pull to open the gate further along. And while there's a fun weapon in there, and I've used it a bit, it's not particularly fantastic or anything. It does fire damage, which is actually pretty nice. But I don't think there's any point in getting it this time, or we might just do it for fun later. But for now, we gotta go set up camp. But this is the forest. My number one favorite thing about the forest is the soundtrack. I love this music that plays just the whole time you're here. I mean, I literally listened to this at work before. But also I'm very strange with the music I listen to at work, so that's fine. And you can see right beyond the trees, that right over there is the temple, the wind temple that we are going to go to shortly. We're going to go get all set up. The other thing I did off camera, just kind of absent-mindedly, was talked to our two friends in town, Oliel and Jans. And they both told us that they're taking off respectively to the Hollowed Marsh and to the desert. And then we talked to the lady that we that ran Cierzo, and she's going to Berg, the town we're headed to right now. And those are where your 3 faction quests start. Basically, you reach that point, and then it's, all right, go talk to one of them and join the faction. And then you're locked into that faction, and that's just basically what your campaign of this game is. And all the faction quests, all right, 3 bandits. This is pretty... This could go one of a couple ways. Let's eat some meat stew. Get some health regen happening. I don't really have much else that's gonna help me with this fight. Did I grab wood? Alright. So, what do we have here? It looks just like 3 basic bandits. So, let's set some traps. Looks like they're already curious about what I'm doing. Archer, guy with a pole arm, and a guy with a bow. Or no, that is the archer. That's how archers work. A guy with a sword. So, 3 traps. Let's do a 4th one for good measure. Right. I like that I'm 40 feet away from him, and they're just like, oh, let's just let that guy do him until he gets 10 more feet closer to us. And then we're going to attack. Craft some wooden spikes that I probably aren't even going to be that valuable, but put them in there anyway. Alright, full health. We need to get rid of some burnt stamina. There we go. Always drink water. And let's start a fight. In the immortal words of Katy Perry, I'm an astronaut. I want to start a fight. That wasn't even Katy Perry, that was Pink. Oh, Megan would be so upset with me. Megan is my old boss, and she loved that song. Oi, you next? Bad archer, bad archer. Come on, come on. Ooh. That probably hurt. Well, hey, that was successful. Once again, tripwire traps for the win. And that's probably pretty good because I can just carry all this crap to town and basically sell for nothing. But I'll use the sword. Alright. And town is not too far away. I've never really noticed that before. So in the forest is where we'll meet a new enemy type, amongst many new enemy types. One particular, though, they're called like the Hive. And I think the idea is that they're like a weird mutated sentient swarm of bees that have taken over humans' bodies and are powering them like bee human puppets. But they live over there, and I've never really noticed the giant beehives sticking up over That's kind of funny. That's cool. I've just never noticed that before. But I mean, the idea of just human bodies being puppeted by bees is terrifying enough. And yeah, they're not that bad of an ending. Some of them can be fairly difficult to deal with. But their big thing is they infect you. And then when you get the infestation or the parasite, whatever it is, yeah, the only way to get rid of it, there's more bandits across the river, is to poison yourself. And there's actually some, I think I said it in the first turn, there's some crab eye, a type of berry that grows in, I mean, just everywhere, but it grows a lot more in the forest than it does in Sheernese. But you have to cook it and then eat it, and you get poisoned, and then cure yourself of poison, and then the parasite will recede over a course of a few hours. So it's pretty entertaining when you get infected by that, at least for the first time, and you have to realize there's a whole 4-step process to getting cured. Welcome to Berg. Ah, Berg, my favorite city in this whole game. I like it. It's got trees everywhere. It's just quaint. I do love this place. I think it's because of my first character specifically. I also really love the swamp, but Berg just does it for me. It rains here a lot, and I'm just such a rain person. But my first character, I basically lived here in Berg for a third of my playthrough, simply because I just set up a tent and lived in the street. Because I didn't know how to get a house. I didn't know what faction I wanted to join. It was a lot of fun. I want to buy something. Actually, I want to sell some things. Okay, I'm going to sell the iron sword. I'm going to sell the machete. We're going to sell this, sell that big thingamajig. That's going to end up on the ground. Probably should not have brought those with me. But anyway, that's fine. Actually, I'll need those. Can hold on to both of those for now. Alright, content. Man, I just have a ton of weight. Alright, a few other things I need to buy.
How can I help you?
First and foremost, we need a tent. We need a new backpack, because this one has a bigger carrying capacity. So the 105, I want to buy the luxury tent. So we need to sell some gold. I need $300. I have 100. Sell 2 gold bars. Boom. We'll buy the prospector backpack and the luxury tent. Hoorah. So now we are broke. But now we can do this. Set up our tent. I like to put it right here. And then we gotta go snag some wood. Oh, come on. Alright, fine, I'm too close. And so you have your player home in Cierzo. All the other towns in the game, you can get a player home at some point. You don't just get one. So when you join a faction, getting a player home in that city will become part of the faction quest. Like, inevitably, you will at least be able to get the house, usually about halfway through, depending. And then after your faction quest is done, you get the opportunity to buy homes in the other 2 homes, the other 2 player homes available in the other cities. So let's go grab that alchemy kit. Do I need one yet? Who knows. So next thing's next. We're going to put on the new backpack with 75 capacity. It's got that little hook. I love this part. That holds your lantern. It makes me happy. And now here's some tricks of the trade I learned from. So I would say probably the best. I would say, my personal opinion, like the best YouTuber that covers this game is a channel called Sheen Shots, and I've watched plenty of his things, and he has some amazing tips, tricks, builds, let's plays, all of the stuff he is great with. all the good advice. And one of those is you can leave a backpack on the ground in a town as basically extra storage. So for now, I don't really need most of this. I might need some cash to buy some potions before we leave town. Oh, we're gonna have to do that later. I forgot something in Cierzo, but we'll be headed back in not too long. And okay, we're gonna pick up a couple things from the alchemist. I left something in that backpack I needed. I need the cold stone, so I've been dragging this around with me because in Berg, the alchemist lady over here, get out of my way, please.
How can I help you?
If you say I'd like to talk, she says this.
Here's the plan.
Here's the plan. A local mage keeps demanding more cold stones to make ice sigils. It's such a pain to get blue sand from the Chersonis each time she comes around. Can you craft me a cold stone? Get the hag off my back?
Pay attention.
Pretty simple. It's just like a little tiny side quest, and then you say, I'd like to talk.
This.
Boom, turn it in. 2 weather defense potions and 50 silver. And she basically lets you do that like every 3 days.
How can I help you?
So I always try and bring her a cold stone just because it's helpful. So I've got the $50. Well, it's not sold yet, I guess. Let's see what she has. What this right here, that's not the question. And these will also decrease our corruption. I have 4 health. I think we should be okay with this. Let's buy a tea to... No one maybe make some teas. And 60 for an alchemy kit. And so let's sell her. I gotta pay 135. Just sell both of these. Okay, we're good. We'll go set up that alchemy kit. And actually maybe we'll sleep. And then we will head to that temple. And if all things go well, then we will be walking with quite a bit of crafting materials and some good weapons to sell. And we can probably make quite the profit. And we're going to go sleep for 8 hours, waking up in the morning. That should be good. So yeah, this temple has like a trick to it, or a trick. There's a trap built into. Basically, you'll see when we get there, but you come in on the balcony on the inside, or on a balcony on the inside. There's a lever to throw a trap that'll kill anything on the lower floor in the main square. And so then the trick, I guess, is just to run around, lure enemies into, I don't need this, into the main square, and then run back upstairs and kill them with the trap. So that's what we're going to do. There's quite a few enemies, including a mini boss. Everything can be killed with the weird trap thing, though. So it shouldn't be much of a problem. The only issue is getting super, super corrupted, but now we have the possess skill. And so we shouldn't have
Want to buy something?
Too much of an issue with that either. I know I'm hungry, that's why I'm buying bread and jam. I forgot to make food before we left, so. Oh, I left flint and steel in here. How about that? Wait, let's just, for kicks and grins, I think I can use this to start a fire. See, spark is useful for other things. There we go. So let's eat a little bit. We've got a ton of space in the bag. Now, if I recall correctly, we saw a few bandits just outside the city. Did Spark eat up that much mana? Wow. The only other high mana build that I've ever done was a rune hex mage, which was great. But I bought a lot of
This worries me.
mana with that thing, with that build, and then I had a lot of mana reduction in all my equipment. So playing with like actual, those are more corruption resistant stuffs. I'm kind of shocked at how much mana that spent. That's fine. Well, I'm gonna have to get used to it anyway, because the chakrams going to use a bunch of mana too. Okay, so hopefully we can get this done. Run through the, there's bandits out there for sure. Run through that big old wind temple. Last time I did this, and I crafted horror weapons. And those sell for like 600 or 800 each, depending on the weapon, so you can easily get quite a bit of good gear. So they have an ice mage and a dude with a sword and shield. This is potentially going to be awkward because I didn't bring... Oh, we just leave them alone. I think that's a better idea. We'll just leave them alone, get to our location, do our thing, and we'll worry about them later. And yeah, so once we do this, and hopefully we can get up in the quadruple digit cash, then we can head off to the swamp and go to Monsoon and learn our chakram stuff, and then the real game can begin. I think I was thinking about this earlier today, with this just being kind of such a money grind at the beginning of the game, at least from the way I'm playing it, and I guess the way a lot of seasoned people would play it, is because you start a new character, you got to get the abilities you want, and so go grind that cash. I imagine the way it's intended to be played is more of a there's more bandits over there. You know, go through, do your faction quest, do a couple quests, and then progressively as you explore and move around, you'll find new skill trainers that you want to buy stuff from. And that's the idea. Instead of just like, all right, first things first, let's go get $5,000 so we can learn all these skills. Wow, there are bandits everywhere. Usually, I feel like I make this walk a ton in the last couple of weeks, and almost never seen anyone on this particular stretch. That's funny to me. There's a new enemy type that gets introduced here, and they terrify me no matter what build I'm playing. They're called beast golems, and they're basically big mechanical dogs with swords for faces. But they hang around certain areas like this big stairwell, and then they'll just ruin the day of any bandit or anything else that's near them. So they're kind of fun to... I don't like fighting. They're not the worst, but I think the worst are like the... So yeah, we ran into our friendly Immaculate. Are you kidding me? This game was just like straight up, I'm putting bandits everywhere today. That guy, oh, that's the bandit. Okay, so I don't know how lore accurate this is, but that's another guy that's got a pet hyena. And I feel like I heard he only shows up after you beat that bandit camp that we took out in the last stream, because they like hire him to come kill you. He's the bandit manhunter, I think. I'm probably wrong about that. I kind of want to see if I can get him to come fight the Immaculate. That would be funny. But let's stick to the plan, shall we? So the plan is to use our possession boon. We're going to run around over here. So that is the not-so-friendly Immaculate. He would probably two-shot me. So let's use this real fast. I only have one. Okay. So all I have to do is run here and push the Y button. Okay. You just run past him and jump down the hole, really. So he's no longer a problem. Thankfully, enemies can't follow us through stuff like that. Next step, as we're going to see, is, so this is the wind, Temple of the Wind. All that green gas is corruption. Down here, you can see that big guy wandering around. This is where the trap is. You run up to this lever, boom, kills that guy. Do you have to reset it? Yeah, I think you reset the lever. Now, we can run through here. We've got a potion. We've got decent corruption resistance at the moment. So we're going to run through. Let's put our light on. And just try and get the attention of all of these enemies. These guys aren't too horrible. They shoot some... Oh, yeah, see? Then you got the big guy. They shoot some corruption stuff at you. It's the big guys you kind of want to worry about, but they're slowish, he says as he's right on my ass. Okay, he'll stay there. He's good. We can run up here and then just kind of... What we want is those guys to show up in here too. Alright, big dude. You just chill. See, the issue with these guys is they tend to... Since they do like ranged attacks, so that tends to make them want to run away from you. Then we close the door. Alright, there's still one over here. That's fine. Like, these guys I could probably just kill with the sword. I'm not going to. So we run back upstairs. All the way over here. Keep an eye on our corruption stuff. And then... Ba-bam! Everyone in there's toast. So we'll reset the thing. And then we'll run down this way. Now, there's a very large version of one of those weird squiggly-faced dudes called the, Bile something or other. And he's the one we really want to get. There he is. There he is. Come. Kill me. He's the one we really want to get in here and get deaded. But again, these guys are not the easiest to convince to get over here. It does not open from here? What do you mean it does not open from here? Of course it opens from here. Hey, buddy. Why don't you come kill me? Look at me. Fresh meat. And, I mean, we can... That's what we want. Scaled leather. I'll take it all. Well, we're multiple things we're here for, but among them is horror chitlin, which is a guaranteed drop, at least to some degree, from the big guys. It is not so guaranteed from these little dudes. Come on, guys, come get me. Yep, that's what we want to see. Bring the whole family. So, don't walk backwards. Ugh. Drink some... Oh, right. I'm drinking the wrong water. I'm drinking magic water, which is fine. There we go. Nope. I want you all to come this direction. I'm going to see about doing this. And then maybe I can convince them to run away from me. See, now you guys just want to chill here? I thought you were supposed to run away. Well, the Vile Illuminator's right here. We can start with him. These other guys, I don't think it's so much of a problem. Yeah, okay, we got him. Alright, let's go back upstairs. Throw the switch, in the immortal words of Yzma. Actually, she should throw the lever. Pull the lever. Wrong lever! And then we can do BAM! That should take out those guys. Okay. If we can... I wish there was a way... I don't have a bow. If I'd have brought a bow, I could annoy that guy over there and get him to walk down. But... Really, you guys walked all the way up here? Come on. You walked all the way up. Let's walk all the way down now. See, the other thing is I think we have to kill everyone in here. I guess I can start just grabbing stuff for the exit to open. Maybe it was just the big Vile Illuminator guy, but I didn't need arrows. But hey, if I find a bow, I guess I can just shoot that dude. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go look at my corruption level real fast. Are these guys down here yet? Hey, almost, guys. You're doing great. Oh, I have firestones now. Hey, buddy. Oh, that one actually hit me. I mean, these guys mostly just corrupt you. They can do some damage. It's true, but they're not the most difficult. Come on, follow me. Let's just get over here. Get it over with. Yeah, see, this door is the way out, and pretty sure you have to kill all of these creatures in order for that to open, or it might just be all of us fall down here if he's feeling frisky. Looks like he's trying to. Oi, Oh, that was me running right through some. Let's drink a little more water. Not anything else to eat. Meat stew. Let's eat some of that. Just to get the health regen going up, because the one guy up there might actually be a little bit of a problem later. Hey, you guys are almost there. Come on. Hey, you're doing so well. It's like wrangling toddlers. As long as we're here, we'll just loot. So we need predator bones. Oh, come on, guys. You're making this difficult. I'm just gonna go get the other big guy first. Come on, this is taking way too long. Come on, guys. You know you want to. You might just go hang out over. Just over here, they'll get the idea that they actually need to walk closer to me. I'm just kind of worried about this guy finally figuring it out. Hey. Oh, you guys are doing so well. Oh, right. Let's, as long as we're not fully corrupted yet. Hey. Oh, all but one of them. Or whatever, I'll go throw the switch on him and maybe we'll just kill the other one by hand. This is one of these places, I mean, it had to have been put in here by the devs, like, strictly for this purpose, right? To be a good farm. Or, I mean, I guess they're just, hey, what if we built a big... I'm getting tainted. What's that? Oh, nice. All right. A big temple that has this fun little trap bit to it. Like, that works, too. No complaints from me. It just seems like a bit... a weird design. Fun design. I like it. The first time I ever came here, I was lost. I had no idea what to do. I was pretty new to even just being corrupted. I mean, this sword's pretty good. Alright, there we go. Okay, you out. Let's get our bag back on. So you can see down in the bottom left that little swirly thingamajig, and it popped up a minute ago saying you are being corrupted, or you're being tainted by corruption. So that... So corruption goes up in level, depending. Oh, I don't know what that was, but I'll take it. We'll look real fast just so I can point it out. Yeah, so the bottom there in the middle, corruption 29%. So at 25% you become corrupted, or you start getting it, and all that means currently is that my hunger level is going up by like 100%, and I'll take more lightning damage, and then at 50%, I think you take even more lightning damage. So there's a positive and a negative to being corrupted, I should say. Hey, big guy. I guess there's two big guys over here. Come get me. You get bonuses, I think, for using corruption, like like yourself, like using corruption magic or abilities. So there is kind of a plus side to getting corrupted, or at least you can use. It can benefit you in like a very particular build. I have never even considered trying to do a corruption build because I feel like it'd be rather difficult. Come on, stamina. Oh, my cookie wore off, or my Gradberry tartine. I keep on calling them cookies. I've never called them cookies until I got on the stream. Just weird. Stand in the corruption, drink water, eat toast and jam. And we'll pop this guy. And there's one left over there, so let's go grab him. Take all this. Oh, hey. What's up, buddy? I should probably... worked. And I was looting something when he so rudely started hitting me with nonsense. I guess I could use that. Alright, so one more big shell horror are the names of those big giant gorilla type dudes. And let's go knock him out. Again, if you would be so kind as to just fall down here. Make my life easier, but do I have another anti-stamina tea? I think it's this one. I drank the wrong tea, didn't I? I don't know. Whatever, we'll be fine. Because after this, we gotta go back to Berg and do some crafting, which is gonna be the most exciting part of the whole stream. And then there's luring this big guy. So this is always terrifying. Hey there, buddy. Because you basically have to get him to get on the elevator with you. Come on. Come on. Oh. Oh, there we go. And then we just run. And let's do it one more time. Hey, let me show you where your friends are at. Come here. I'm gonna name you Gerald. Come on, Gerald. You're doing great. You're a good Gerald. Alright, lock that door. Lock that door, and we should be set. So, I mean, aside from some decent loot you can get, I mean, we saw there's a few chests and whatnot in here. The horror chitlin, I guess the carapace of these creatures, that you can... Sorry, Gerald. You can use those to craft horror weapons. To craft a horror weapon, you have to craft a fang weapon, and then you use occult remains and horror chitlin to craft horror weapons. Horror weapons sell for a lot of money, and we think we've already gotten about 5 pieces of the chitlin. It's such a fun word that we need. So we should be all right. So we've got 2 pieces. I said 5, whatever. There's another piece. And so 4. So we have 4 from those, so that would be, and then we're overweight. Perfect. That's fine. I picked up a lot of weird crap. This is Alright, don't need a bedroll. Don't need another flint seal, that's not doing too much. 14 ghost eyes, that's kind of weird. I might need an iron axe. I don't need tattered attire. That doesn't need to be in here. Illuminating potions are good. Arcane hood. Brutal axes. Well, that's something. Self, alright. Okay, well, because there's 2 more heavy things. The other interesting thing that we're going to pick up here is the thrice wrought halberd. Now my bag is super overweight. This damage 18 and 18 fire and ethereal, or no, it's frost. Is that frost? A female blacksmith for a gold that she loved. Impact 43. Pretty impressive weapon, honestly, all things considered. It looks very pretty. We'll hold on to that for a minute. That also sells for a ridiculous amount of money, and it looks really cool, but I might just end up selling it. Shark cartilage. So not too much good in here. I can barely move. So we're going to drop the iron axe. Oh, there's too much good stuff and not have to be able to carry all this home. Decisions. Oh, see, yeah, the horde chitlin weighs 16 pounds. That's where the... I don't think I need hide. I do need hide. Alright, so how long of a walk is this going to be? It's going to be a good long walk, that's for sure. Alright. So we can make it back to Berg, and we can figure this out. And we've got enough stuff to get us started on making a ton of money. And that's the basic gist of how you go. Oh, I left a chest. It was just a regular chest. I don't have any space anyway. So again, the corruption, the little twisty thing in the bottom left. How did we do by the end of that? 38% corrupted. To cure that officially, let's read the tainted. Hunger rate 100%, lightning resistance minus 25. It's not the worst. But these sanctifier potions, those get rid of 20% of your corruption. So we're still at 18%, but we have no ill effects from it. So our town we're going for is right across the island in the lake. So we can basically just get down from here. Not too far away. I'll turn the lantern off. I'm surprised we haven't seen any elk yet. This forest is full of elk. So there's the stag, the big male elk, and he's usually walking around with 2 female elk, two does. Elk does, probably does. And I don't know if the females will ever even attack you, but the males sure will if you get anywhere near the females, and they are absolutely not that terrifying to fight. They are super aggressive. They have tons of stagger damage. I basically avoid fighting any and all. Oh, this is hilarious. I know this is probably painful to watch, but this is kind of funny to me. Just how much burnt stamina I have. Even with stamina regen, I can barely run because the pack is too heavy. I saw some bandits to my left, but hopefully they'll be chill. All we have to do is get over there. I'm carrying a big, giant, glowing halberd that just screams, "Come find me and attack me." And we have half a stamina bar. I just do love it as the stamina gets lower, how just exhausted your character looks. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. I probably could have just put on light armor, but I didn't bring any light armor with me. That's okay, we are gonna make it. As long as there aren't more bandits like directly between us and there, I think we'll be okay. I've always found it fun when, you know, the worst happens when you're out here and you actually lose some fights and then, Oh no, there's a bandit over there. Let's just keep going. Oh, okay. So now this is going to be a problem. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're going to drop the Cleaver Halberd. And we're going to drop the Brutal Axe. That'll put us at regular weight. So I can actually move. I don't think using this is a great idea. But we can try it. So let's go. Do I have any... Well, let's see what we do. This could either end really poorly, or this could be really hilarious. This is reminding me of what happened to me. Alright, they don't have a mage, so at least that's good. What happened to me on a different character. I killed a handful of bandits, and then more and more just kept showing up right where I left the other ones. I do have a Firestone, and we do have mana, so that actually is a good idea. Oh, right. I don't have any spikes. I have 14 of those. I probably don't need all 14 of them. And it does bleeding, so next thing to do, take off the pack. Put on the pack. Because do what I tell you. Alright. We need to move these to my pocket. Let's take a swig of water, and we got a bunch of good stuff. Warrior Elixir increases the... Sure. And since we're going to be throwing fireballs, might as well upgrade the fire. Let's just do whatever we can to live through this. Oi, dudes. Let's go have a fight, shall we? And we are going to... Oi, can I hit you from here? Not quite. How about here? Really? I ran out of mana already? Here, just come over here then. Okay, this halberd's pretty beastly. That's funny. Alright, let's get the bag back on. I honestly think I'm just going to run to town. We'll come back and pick up those other things in a minute. We won the fight with our ridiculously overpowered weapon and all of our good stuff. So let's just drag our sorry broken body into town, take a nap in our wonderful little tent, and then we're going to do some crafting. Because arts and crafts is exactly what everyone comes to a thread like this. Oh, I can do the thing. Just auto walk. Oh, I'm so happy that I learned how to do this. I guess auto walk is a prominent normal feature in a lot of MMORPGs, but I've only ever played one MMORPG. And that was Elder Scrolls Online, and I actually really enjoyed it. Well, if my friend Finch is watching, we have a bit of a sordid tale about Elder Scrolls Online. You know what? I'll tell it because I don't know if I've ever actually have nights where we've sat and chatted about things, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Since I don't have a whole lot to talk about during this next part of the game, because it's just really going to be me grabbing some stuff and crafting. So that's how I want to start this. Elder Scrolls Online came out. I'd never really even played Skyrim a whole lot by that time. Excuse me. So I didn't really know a whole lot about the Elder Scrolls. But I played Fallout and Fallout New Vegas, and I liked Bethesda's RPGs. And me and Finch had played... we were always playing games together. We played Borderlands a lot at the time. I know he had independently played through Fallout 3. I'm not sure how much of Skyrim player he was. But either way, we decided we're going to play Elder Scrolls Online. That sounds like a really good time. So we both bought the game, and I think typically at the time we usually played like Friday, Saturday nights is when it worked best for us to game. Because I was living in Portland, and he was living in Wyoming. And when the game first came out, there was 3 factions you could choose from. The Aldmeri Dominion. Oh, I couldn't possibly name all of them at the moment. But anyway, there was the 3 factions, and I think they've changed this since launch. I'm pretty positive they have. But the race of character you picked and class, I believe, or maybe it was just race, were sort of faction locked. Like each faction had like 6 or so options of character you could be. And so I think I'd gotten to it first, and we'd talked about like which ones we wanted to which group we wanted to play with. And I think we picked whichever one we picked. I ended up starting the character first to get through the tutorial and get to the main hub. I'd made my character. I had an idea of what sort of build I wanted to go to, and I told Justin, yeah, you got to join. Let's just say it's the Aldmeri Dominion. You got to join these guys. Build your character, do the tutorial. It'll be great. Like I'll be off work later tonight. He's like, all right, sounds good. We're doing that. And somewhere along the line, his other friend, I do not remember the name of his other friend. I want to say, yeah, I couldn't tell you. He'd also got it and wanted to play. And so when I got home, they were both playing, but they'd picked characters in a different class or a different faction, so I couldn't join them with the character I'd built. I had to make another character, and of course now it's just me but talking to the 2 of them who were already established and playing in the middle of the game. So I had to make an entire new character, run through the entire tutorial with that character, only to join them. And so that kind of threw me off on like what sort of build I wanted, but it was gonna be an alright time. And then I got done with the tutorial and I went to join them. And whatever quest they were on was some like civil war. I didn't know this part of the map. I didn't particularly love what it looked like. And there was some like war thing going on where there was just enemies everywhere. I got super just like annoyed just because of I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. Things were blowing up all over the place. And I need to go grab some linen. And then like as soon as I actually found them, him and his friend both just excited to be playing this game, like run over to me like, hey man, dude, go do this. I got this item for you. I got this item. You can drop this. And it was just so overwhelming. I was like, everyone just, I can't hear, I can't focus, I can't pay attention. Screw this game. I'm not happy about it. And I don't think we ever really can. I think him and his friend continued to play it, and I just never got back into it until years and years later. I got around to playing it, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not blaming Finchie for that at any stretch of the imagination. That was just my story of my experience with Elder Scrolls Online, at least my beginning experience with Elder Scrolls Online. Okay, that's what it was. And I need an axe. Okay, Fang stuff acquired. Now I should be able to do Fang axe. Horde, not predator bones. Oh yeah, it's in the other bag. Of course it is. It's always in the other bag. I probably should have looked this up before I started doing this, because now I feel like an idiot. I bet you I can cheese the system and just go buy a recipe for it. I'm sure our alchemist friend has it. I am hungry and thirsty. So other than that fun little first foray into Elder Scrolls Online, when I came back years later and played it, I had a fine time. It was a fun game. I liked the MMO aspects, but I didn't really engage with much of them just because run around the world. I mean, whenever we went into dungeons and whatnot, and there was tons of people around to help, that was great. I'm just not a huge MMO fan. But if you are an MMO fan, I highly suggest Josh Strife Hayes' Worst MMO Ever series. It is worth a watch, even if you're not an MMO fan. Those are some amazing videos he puts out. And some of the MMOs that people have created are just fantastic. It's just a piece of work that somebody did.
Hey there.
I actually really enjoy just watching him play through these old dead games. Thorny Spear? Horror Bow, Horror Shield, Horror Axe. Let's just buy the Horror Axe one. I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna keep the Arcane Hood. Wait, the Elite Hood? Oh, well, that's why this is... My mana is so terrible. It's plus 40% because of this helmet. Alright, I'm changing things up a little bit. 1 second. Yes, leave. That's why my mana is awful. I didn't read that when I equipped it the other night. You come off. Does that work? I think the hood looks better. The hood, not near as much protection or anything, but I'd prefer that. Screw it.
Hey there.
Okay, I guess I'm selling both of these things. I mean, the Black Plate Elm's pretty good, but not for all the negatives that come with it. Was this one? There we go. Okay, so let's go to see about crafting that Horror Axe, because I just need to make sure I know. Oh, right, I have to learn the Horror Axe. Oh, I need palladium. I didn't find any palladium, but there's a bunch of palladium in the forest. So, guess what we're about to do? We're about to go run and get palladium. So, that's interesting, but I am going to have to take a quick break for a second, I suppose, because I didn't realize that had a beak to it. That's adorable. I set up my iPad as a second monitor, which I've been using to make sure sound levels and things like that are fine, and kind of check out some other stuff. I just got the notification that my iPad's about to die, so I think we're just going to pause this for a minute, and I will get that, make sure I get that on a charger, because I did not put that on a charger. If we're going to go mine palladium, I'm going to need to make a little bit of room in the bag, so all the chitlins is going to go in here, all this is going to go in here, that's going to go in here. I have Hackmite, okay. That's probably enough space for the palladium that we can mine. So I can drop that, put that down. So, okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and drink this and fill it with regular water. I have a pickaxe. I have a pretty good idea of where a bunch of palladium is. And okay, so the journey continues. I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna have to grab a charger and get that sorted, because I would like to at least get this stuff crafted. You know what? I don't think it really matters and is that big of a deal. I'm just gonna end the stream now. It's already 9 o'clock, and we'll just pick it up maybe next week. I know we didn't get a lot done, but we did get through the temple, and just looking at time and what we have going on, I think that would be the better idea, because the only thing else that's going to happen is I'm going to run around the forest mining for a while. So maybe I'll do that off screen, and when we come back next week, we'll have a bunch of money, and then we can head to the swamp. Aha, yeah, monsoon. So hey, thanks for anybody that's watching, and we will do this again next week. I appreciate it, and stay frosty, y'all. He said, still not knowing how to end a stream properly. Ha!